Hi guys, it's Monday again. Excuse the weird kind of clothing. I'm going to a job interview later, so we were like, right, let's dress her up, let's put her glasses, let's tie her hair back, and she'll look older than 16. So, this week's topics. Topic number 1, did you grow up with a religious family background? Did your parents teach you about the LBGTQ community, or did you find out some other way? Any tips to those who are growing up with a religious background? I actually did, yeah. My whole family is Catholic, and they're not hugely strict about it. It's just, no matter how much I beg the case, it's basically the rule of, you live under this roof, you go to church every week. So I don't get a choice in that. So I could be a Satanist. I'm not, because I've had issues with this in the past. I'm not a Satanist, but, I could be, and I'd have to go mass every week. And the religion was a serious problem for a while, because when I was maybe about 14 I started to think, well, there's a lot of this I don't really think I believe. I don't agree with this, and there's parts I just struggle to believe in. I'm still struggling with that a bit today. So I kind of looked about a bit and looked into other religions just to see what I could find, and it caused a few problems. I had family who did not agree with that at all, so that didn't go well. My parents didn't actually teach me about the LBGTQ community at all. When I was a kid, one of the teachers from my primary school, Mrs. I probably not say her name, we'll call her Mrs. D. She lived like at the end of my street, and I'd had her like all through primary 2 as a substitute because my teacher was sick. And at the end of the street around the corner there was a shop, and someone had spray painted on the side of the shop, Mrs. D is gay. And I remember being about 6 or something saying to Mum, hey, what does that mean? And she's like, oh, it means she's happy, which is fair enough. And I got a bad look off Mum for going, oh, a couple of guys in Glasgow who had their hands in each other's back pockets when I was 10. So I wasn't really educated about it, it wasn't mentioned, and I basically kind of figured it out for myself. And like in school, you learn everything like that in school, all about sex and things your parents don't want to talk to you about because it's awkward or because it's strange. Growing up with a religious background, especially if you're finding yourself attracted to the same sex, or maybe feeling you're not in the right body and you want to kind of become another person, it can be really difficult. And I know it can be difficult. I tried to hide it from my parents. They found out pretty quickly, or they figured it out, and they knew about it, but it was like, don't ask, don't tell. It was never mentioned. As far as they were concerned, if my girlfriend was coming over, it was a friend. My friend's coming to stay. And she was introduced as a friend to everyone, despite the fact most people knew at this point. Because I'd stopped hiding it. And there was also, it was like a year later before they finally accepted that. But a religious background doesn't always mean your school. What? It doesn't always mean your family, it can mean your school. I really wrecked that, didn't I? I couldn't come out when I was at school because it was a Catholic school, and okay, I don't know if this is a rumour or not, I'm pretty sure it's true, because it wouldn't surprise me at all, but the head teacher tried to suspend everyone who had a gay or lesbian relationship within the school. Like, if you were gay or lesbian, fine, but if you had a boyfriend or girlfriend in school, no. Despite the fact you had straight couples having sex in the toilets, which actually did happen, that was quite amusing. The gay couples couldn't do anything. They weren't allowed to be in contact at all, basically. One guy gets suspended and his very homophobic father told about his relationship. It was just outrageous. So you should really try and be yourself, but if you think it's going to be harmful to you in the long run to come out where you are just now, or if you think it's not going to be the best idea because people will turn against you or whatever, then hold off on it. Seriously, you have to think about yourself. And you know what, if you do decide to come out and people turn on you, well, that's their problem. They're really not worth it. I learned that a while ago. So just let it go. If you're gay, you're gay. You can't do anything about that, really. So don't let them try and force you into being something you're not, because it's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle at all. Okay, topic number 2. Did you go through any phases? What do you define as a phase? Okay, I did go through a couple. I went through quite a kind of emo phase where I was, I had the eyeliner, I had all these dark clothes and stuff. And I wouldn't say that was really so much as a phase, to be honest, because I still have a lot of that stuff and I still wear it. It's just not all the time. I'll kind of mix and match and I wear colours and such now. I don't wear, I've got these red and black wristbands with skulls on them and stuff, I don't really wear those anymore. So I have a lot of stuff, I don't wear all of it, but that was kind of a phase. I also went through, when I was talking earlier about religion, when I was looking into different religions, I really found Wicca interesting because there weren't rules and it wasn't as restricted as what I was used to. It was really free and it was basically just, you respect the world around you and you don't harm people and you live a good life and that's it, And if you do something wrong, it'll come back to you. Karma, basically, except multiplied by 3 apparently. And I thought that was great and I really enjoyed it, and a family member actually said to me, oh well, that's just stupid because they've got all these different gods and stuff. There's only one god. And I was just kind of, I don't know, I didn't think until later on to say, well, to be honest, you have a god who's 3 people in your religion. You've got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Wicca has a main god and goddess, the 2 people that kind of rule, like they're like in charge of it all. Catholicism then has saints for everything, like there's patron saint of love, patron saint of happiness, patron saint of death, there's everything, right? Wicca has the same thing, they've got a goddess for nature, they've got a goddess for love, it's the same. It's basically like having God and saints. So I never got around to telling her that. I'm quite annoyed because it was a fair point and it did annoy me that she said that. And that was quite I think that must have been about a year. That was quite a long phase and I was looking into it and I learned a lot. Not just about that, just about life in general. It was absolutely fascinating and I still think it's a great religion or way of life. It's just not something I think I could fully commit to. That was a pretty awesome phase because I've now got some awesome jewellery from that. I have a Sword of Destiny. My aunt got me a Sword of Destiny necklace for my birthday without telling me she was getting it. And it's basically like a sword and it's got like a circle at the hilt. It's purple, it's got a pentagram inside it. It's the coolest thing ever, I love it. And I wear it for my cows, it's just so awesome. What do I think defines a phase? I'm rambling today, aren't I? I guess a phase is something that you go through a lot of them when you're growing up, and it's basically like you go through something where you believe or you want to believe that this is who you are and this is what you think, but you kind of grow out of it. Like a lot of people think that you can get a gay phase, which is fair enough, maybe you can. If you're bi-curious, if you're experimenting, it could be considered a gay phase. But, for example, me, 2.5, 3 years later, it's not. For people who have been gay their entire life, that's not a phase. Phases don't tend to last that long. So, yeah, something that you're into, but you kind of grow out of it. Like pretty much every girl went through a Barbie doll phase. You grow, it's something that you grow out of, whereas things that are not a phase that you think and you believe and you do are part of you, and that's not going to go away. So, yeah, I think that's it. Kind of boring because it's raining outside and I have a job interview. I have a driving lesson first in half an hour and I'm hoping to get dropped off where my job interview is, but that'll be half an hour early and it's raining. I'm going to get wet and my hair is not cooperating with me today. It's like today of all days. I just cannot get it to thingy right. Bits like sticking out everywhere and it's not really visible on the camera, but it's driving me nuts. So yes, that was your video. So I will see you again next week, and until then, be safe, smile, and have fun at school, guys, yeah? And uni and college and all that, because I'm pretty sure just about everyone's back now, so have fun, okay? Bye bye. I've pressed the button again. There.